Hi, my name is Carla Farrell, and this is my story. Last May in 2022, I got COVID, and I got through it and over it in the normal 2 weeks. And as the weeks went on after that, I noticed that I was still having some lingering symptoms. I was just continuing to feel fatigued physically, and I was also just having that brain fog and just lack of mental energy and everything. And someone told me, oh, that's called long haul COVID. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know there was such a thing. And so I'm like, okay, what do we do about this? Oh, there's not anything that can help it. And so the weeks kind of turned into months of where I just continued to just be exhausted. I could get through my daily activities and the normal routine, but I just didn't have any energy for other things. So like household projects and yard work and inviting people over to our home and just things like that. I just did not have energy for. So everything just got kind of pushed to the side. And I also just didn't have mental energy. So like even things like balancing my checkbook were just like overwhelming. And I just put that off and things like that off for weeks and weeks, and it turned into months. And so it was just this long journey. And then in December, our family, we have three young adult children, and we were just coming together every night and just focusing on prayer and worship and just asking the Lord for some specific things for our family. One of being healing for various members of our family. And so that was just a really precious time. Every night just about we were spending in prayer. And then on New Year's Eve, we stayed up till midnight praying as a family, specifically asking God for healing, for me, for others in my family and the things that we were going through. And then that night, I woke up around 1:30 and just was noticing a tingling feeling all over my body. And it was just a really gentle feeling. It wasn't this kind of that feeling, when your arm falls asleep, it's kind of a painful feeling. This was just a very soft, gentle tingling all over my body. It lasted about a minute maybe. And I just was like, Lord, is this a healing? And I heard him say yes. And so I just like, oh, okay. And I fell back asleep. And so then in the morning, you're just thinking about what happened and wondering, wow, what was that? Was that really a healing, And I had been taking an herbal pill that I had been told might be helpful for long COVID symptoms. And normally it would take you need to take it for about 2 weeks. And I had just started that a few days before this. And so I was taking my morning vitamins and started taking those herbal pills. And I heard the Lord say, you don't need that anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. That kind of sounds like confirmation that he healed me of long COVID. And so I just decided to take him at his word and in faith and stop taking the pills. And just kind of said, okay, I'm going to see what happens. I didn't necessarily notice anything right away because I immediately had some things happen in my life that required a lot of more extra energy and activity-related stuff that just required a lot more of me. But as I was going through those few weeks where life had just kind of ramped up, I was like, I don't know if I would have been able to get through this like I did if I still had long COVID. And so I just wasn't sure. I was like, And so I asked my family, I said, do you guys notice, do I have more energy? And they're like, oh yeah, Mom, you definitely have more energy. You've been doing a lot more stuff. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I was just kind of paying attention to see, if I still had any symptoms, and that kind of thing. And so then the real test came when I needed to fill out an application form that I'd been putting off for months and months because of the brain fog and because it was too overwhelming. But I needed to do it. And so I did it. I got through it. And afterwards, I'm like, whoa, the brain fog is gone. I did not have any. I was able to get through this. I did not have any problems with this. It wasn't too overwhelming. I was able to accomplish this, and like, it really is gone. And that was kind of the final test there of just like, yes, God has healed me of long COVID. Psalm 107 says, "Let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story. Let them give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind. Let them exalt him in the congregation of the people." And I just feel like that is something that God calls us to do, is to tell our stories. And I just wanted to share my healing story because I hope it will encourage somebody out there to pray for healing and ask God. We have not because we ask not. So let's be asking God for those things.